40 years ago today, the Motor Neuron Disease Association had its first gathering of like-minded people, none of whom knew the other. There was apprehension, there was excitement, there was great interest, but it was a step into the unknown and a very emotional step for many, many people. I think the main motivation that those people had was to try to improve things for people who are now going through motor neuron disease with a family member.
40 years ago, the reason that the Irish Motor Neuron Disease Association was set up was that there was no provision for people that were diagnosed with IMND. And what the organisation and what the association has been able to do is make sure that when people get that diagnosis that they've got support from day one. And obviously looking to the future, we want it to be the case that by investing in treatments and investing in research that there will be treatment and eventually there will be a cure for MND. One of our biggest challenges is the fact that 85% of our money comes from the public and from public fundraising, which is fantastic, but it's not sustainable money. And as cases of MND rise, those numbers are going up all the time, and our ability to support them, obviously one of the challenges is to make sure that we have that sustainable funding and talking to the government and making sure that support exists.
My dad, throughout his journey with his illness, needed all different types of equipment. They were able to assist in getting us that type of equipment. They're a very special group of people between, say, the equipment they provide, the nursing and all the services. We'd be lost without them, and they are so underfunded. It's amazing for such a small charity. What they do and the impact they have in the MND community is simply incredible. If we're going to try and stop this disease, and I'm sure in the future it will be stopped, we need to get the word out. We try to think outside the box. So we do fundraising through music and songwriting. And so we released songs, and we went to #1 in Ireland actually with a song called My New Dream. MND. Myself and my dad sang that, and that's how we try to raise awareness for the IMNDA and for research. People that have MND, they're still people. They can contribute to society. They have feelings, they have passions and hobbies. And my dad's hobby was music, and that was his passion. We wanted to help raise awareness, and we did it through the medium of music.
I'd like to take the opportunity to thank everybody who has supported the IMNDA for the last 40 years, because your support means everything to families all over Ireland. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who turned up for my Walk While You Can walk in November, because I was truly overwhelmed when we got to the beach and saw the amount of people that turned up for me that day. I wanted to actually thank every one of you individually for coming out. The community was amazing, and I will be forever grateful. Thank you.
I had just turned 57 when I was diagnosed, and we had two amazing kids, Laura and Robert. They had just turned 18 and 19. Martin gave up his job of 20 years to be my carer. I can't tell you what an amazing man he is. He is my best friend. He's the best husband and father you could wish for, and he's my rock. Thank you, Martin.
The IMNDA have been amazing support to me and my family since we got the diagnosis. They actually invited us to their annual conference. We had lots of people talk, which gave us lots of information, and we met lots of people with the same disease, which before that conference, there's a loneliness attached to this disease that you don't know anybody. I knew nobody in my whole life that had this disease. So when we went to the conference, we came away with that wonderful feeling of belonging and not being so lonely.
One thing that's really interesting about this disease, everybody with the disease is different. If you tell me let's go on an adventure, I'm going to say yes, let's do it. I'm still full of the same shenanigans. My character has not changed, But I'm still the person. If you say to me something, you cannot do something, I never took no for an answer. The stubbornness is kind of good in a way, because you just think you can still do everything.
The hopes and goals of the nursing and services team are to ensure that people living with motor neuron disease are supported and cared for as best that we can. And that is a case of ensuring that the nurses are available to meet the person and the whole family, meeting their needs and having the equipment and support, psychological supports available to them when they need it and as often as they need it.
Part of our role as a motor neuron nurse in working for the Motor Neuron Association, we're there to make sure that our patients and clients are getting the best, that they're well linked in with the community, that they're linked in with the multidisciplinary team in the hospital, and that really that they're getting the best that's available for them, equipment and services, home care, and we provide and we assist with all that.
I look at the bravery and the resilience of people that have motor neuron disease and their families and their friends around them, the whole community, and it's astonishing and it's so inspiring. I know how important our services are, what a difference our nurses make, what a difference our equipment makes, what a difference our services make to people. And that's the thing that really makes a difference, to really strive to make sure that we can do that for every individual with motor neuron disease.